Hello everybody. So today we are going to learn the topic instance. Everybody needs to know what is instance and what are the types of instance and the concept of instance. Okay. Now if you see in this slide, structure of an instance. An instance is an administrative unit that combines SAP system components providing one or more services. The services provided by an instance are started or stopped together. So each instance has its own buffer areas. So if you see the graphic, it shows like instance is made of a dispatcher. Okay, the right which you're seeing the blocks D, E, V, B, S, these are nothing but the ABAP work processes which you are going to learn. Okay, D is nothing but dialog, E indicates NQ work process, V is nothing but update work process, B is background work processes, S is spool work process, there is one more M which is message work process. So these are the ABAP work processes. So the work processes that belong to this dispatcher, and why I said like instance of an SAP system is made up of a dispatcher. So this is a typical structure of an instance, how it looks, and here the concept of instance. So as I said, like instance is a basic building block of an SAP system. So an SAP system can comprise of one or more SAP instances, right? It is an administrative unit that combines multiple components to provide one or more services. So if you see here, the SAP system comprises of two parts. Basically, one is the application instance and database instance. When the application instance and database instance reside on the same hardware, then we call it as single instance. Okay, so remember that whenever in a same hardware, if you are installing application as well as database, then you call it as a single instance. And if you are installing, like application instance and database instance on two different hardware, then we call it as a distributed instance. So an SAP instance is basically defined with a system ID. As I showed in previous, like we identify the SAP system by their SID, right, and instance number. So as we've seen, like SID contains 3 characters and instance contains 2-digit numbers, right, 00299. Similarly, so SAP instance is identified with a system ID and instance number. And if you see, each instance can be distributed over multiple hardware units. Okay, so these units can be separate physical machines, or it could be a logical physical partitions within the same machine. Okay, so if you see in this slide, I have designed in such a way that you should able to know what are the processes and which instance in the ABAP application server are running, and what are the processes and instance will be using in Java application server. So in ABAP application server, when you call dialog instance, that means what are the work processes will be running? ABAP work processes. What are the ABAP work processes? ABAP work processes are nothing but your dialog, your NQ, update, message, spool, right, background. So these are the work processes. So when you call dialog instance, is nothing but your ABAP work processes. And in the central instance, what are the processes running under central instance? NQ and gateway process. You will be seeing practically after we complete this topic. So here just I want you to get a concept of instance. Why we call dialog instance? If you are installing only dialog instance in a machine, then we call it as a ABAP work processes. So if you are installing central instance, then ABAP and Java both come into picture, right? So here in Java application server, the central instance, what are the processes running in the central instance of Java? Software deployment manager and dispatcher. Okay, so these two are the processes which are running under central instance of Java application server. And similarly in the ABAP application server, what are the processes running under central instance? Enqueue server and gateway process. And in central server instance, what are the processes running? Message server. Same as ABAP as well, same for Java application. Okay, while the message server basically asks the dispatcher to allow all the work processes. Okay, so this is a big concept which you are going to learn in my further sections, because this is very important to understand the concept, because once you start in your SAP system, you should know what is going behind the SAP instance, like what is going to start first, whether it's the dispatcher, whether it's the message, and once the message and dispatcher starts, what is going behind backend. So you need to know about this, the concept of instance, which is very important, and that's why I have focused more on SAP instance. I hope you understood the process of SAP instance. Thank you so much. In our next session, we will be going to see more about work processes and